Hi guys, how you going? Campbell here from Autodidactic Channel. Hope you're all having a spectacular day. And today I wanted to touch back on the star fort theme. And star forts are, of course, one of the smoking guns. They are all over this place, all over the realm, and there's really no explanation for them. And what I want to get into today is the ones that are sitting out in the ocean that really, when you look at the stories of how they got there, they just don't make any sense at all of how these things could be built in the middle of the ocean, you know, a couple of 100 years ago. So let's get into it. All right, so I have put together a little slideshow here on the Google Earths. As you can see, we are in the middle. I don't even know where this place is, but just as a reference point, we are so Japan, basically out in the middle of the ocean, out in the middle of the Pacific. And just looking at this as well, you can see these big, you know, the ocean floor, these big bits of land that were probably above the waterline not so long ago. But just looking at this sea floor, you can see how it's a big basin and there's bits sticking up everywhere. You know, this pyramid sort of looking shape that we, you know, this shape is all over the sea bed. And as you can see, it's completely blurred out. You can see the pixelization there. You know, if we come over to here, still blurred, but not so much. And of course, you know, we know this is kind of fake because Google Earth have stamped it everywhere. 2020 Google Earth. So anyway, where were we? We were out here. Okay, so we're out near Hawaii. Okay, so here we are back at the island in the middle of nowhere. And just look at all these, you know, points. You know, what do we call these? Pyramids, towers, dome-looking things, just all over the place. Look at them all. You know, it's not the kind of formation you would think, you know, that they tell us, you know, with the oceans, everything's supposed to be flat, you know, washed flat kind of thing. But yeah, we just have these protrusions sticking up everywhere. Look at this. See the lines on this? So what was that? That's like the, you know, and this sort of mountain thing, it's just like a flat top on it. And of course, everything just completely blurred out around it. So this thing is literally just a dot, a speck in the middle of nowhere. And it's pretty much a triangle. This has been turned into an airway. I don't even know what they do here. A couple of people living here, but very interesting sort of shape. You know, especially with what's going on around. We've got this perfect circle here. Got these lines. So I'm not sure if that's, you know, got anything man-made, but I found that interesting just, you know, because of where it is and because everything around it is completely blurred out. You know, look at all these pointy, domey looking things just everywhere. And again, these big bits of land that are, you know, way high. And that's if this is even, you know, we don't even know if what we're looking at is real, really. And there, of course, is Hawaii, big chain. So, yeah, the Pacific, you know, there's so many questions about the Pacific. You know, look at this, lines everywhere. Look at this. What's this? What? Oh, my gosh. What is that? Can you see? Look at that. It's a seam all the way up. Look at that. How long is it? What is that? It's probably Mariana's Trench or something, maybe. I don't know, but it doesn't look natural, really, does it? Like, What's going on with that? Oh God, okay, better keep going. I could be here all day. So next on the agenda we have, this is Scotland, Thorn Island Fort, and as you can see, that is clearly a star fort, or a bit of a star fort, a star city, citadel. Got the just familiar shapes, but that's clearly just a little bit of a much bigger structure. And so if we come across here, you know, we find all these strange angles which are very familiar to star cities. And when you're building you know, farms and fields and that, there's no reason to go on these funny angles. It would be easier if they were just all squares, wouldn't it? Don't know, but we get that there. You know, these funny sort of angled bits everywhere. I believe down here there was a ruin. God, and this is the thing again. You know, so many places you just can't zoom in, but they say all these pictures come from satellite, so they should really all be the same resolution all over the place. If this is, you know, as they say, ball spinning through space with satellites everywhere. So down here, another bit of a fort of this, you know, of the original Star City. So there's the Star Fort. Here we have another bit. Of course, you know, here we have a golf course. Of course. Here we have another bit, as you can see. So this is all, and just these sort of, you know, familiar shapes. We see these circles and things. Down here again, what did I say? Maybe it was just that. But yeah, there's remnants of Star City. No doubt there's a canal. Yep, there we go. So looking at that, okay, so this would have been, you know, the sort of main Star City here, and this would have been the outer side. There we go. Citadel, five-sided citadel. So this area looks to have been, yeah, washed out. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe they were secondary canals and this was an original canal. Because look at this, and it's just been flooded out a bit. Maybe what happened, because this citadel is right, and we see this so often, they're right on the edge. It looks like half of them is underwater. But of course, we can't really see what's underwater because the Googles won't let us. But yeah, you can see this whole area is just sort of splattered with remnants of a star fort, or a star city, should I say. And we have this one, Stack Rock Fort. Again, not the best picture, but look at this, just, yeah, a circle just like perched on this rock out in the middle of nowhere. Well, not middle of nowhere, but the middle of the ocean. So we've got that. We've got this one, which is the first one we looked at. And we've just got, you know, star forts here, you know, all across here. So this is what we find, is these old flooded out remnants of star cities all over the earth. Now this one is not in the ocean, but I came across it just as I was looking, and this is, you know, what we're starting to see everywhere. You can see this is a raised, you know, platform, clearly raised up, you know, pretty steep cliffs. And as you come in, you can see there's a bit of terracing going on with different levels as it goes down. And on the top, we just have all these old world structures. Obviously, they've, you know, built it out, but just these old world bits everywhere. So is this, again, the remnants of a star city? Because you can see the walls here. Is that a road down here? See the wall, remnants of the walls? Don't know what that is. See all the circles? And over here, this is actually, is that it? There are ruins of a fort up here. But I mean, you can just see this, see the angles and the walls everywhere. This is clearly an old star city. You know, you can see the walls here. Bit of an old tower. And this is what they're calling a fort here, Penala Fort. So, okay, Penala Fort's down here. Don't know what it is. Maybe it's this big square of nothingness that got destroyed. Here's another just, random walled, roofless structure. But yeah, so that I just wanted to show you is another fort, another Star City. And if we go over to the coast here, again, we get Star Forts out in the islands. And this one is interesting because look, it's completely walled irregularly, but this is after it's been flooded. Because normally they're not this irregular at all, but as you can see, this wall seems to go around this whole island. So it's almost like it was done afterwards. I haven't actually seen anything like this before. Normally you see, the star pattern and it's just half in the water, but yeah, very interesting. We have remnants. Again, this is, I don't want us looking here, but you can see that's clearly an old fort. There are, bits like this that are built out. I've got the turrets everywhere. I'm pretty sure these are remains of a citadel, all looking a bit smashed out. Look at this. And just, yeah. How did they build that a few hundred years ago, and why? Like, why? It's clearly not what they would call a fort. If we come down here, more remnants. See this wall? So you can see there was a lot more going on here. And are these remnants, what's all this stuff that look at that angle there. But we see rock like this all over, going into the water, all over the earth. And is that the remains of something that's been melted? Because when you start to see all these structures around, you start to ask questions. Just all this crisscrossy, I don't think water would wear it like that, would it? And down here, looks like we have some more remnants. What's this? Another island that we can't see, but look at the shapes. Looks like there's probably something on there. And they're just not. And it's funny, it's like, it seems to be like the third world countries, like the poorer economically poorer countries, seem to be the ones that they don't want you to have good resolution pictures in. Here's another bit of a fort, just the wall. So all around this area again, looks like a big sunken star fort. Okay, so this is Russia. And basically, St. Petersburg is where we are. If we come down here, we're close to St. Petersburg anyway. Now this, what do you think this is? So I've seen a couple of these. Look at that. Do you think maybe they're covering something up? Because look at this. That clearly looks like, well, this side looks exactly like a pyramid, doesn't it? This is a bit more sloped, but definitely looks like a pyramidal structure of some kind, doesn't it? What's that doing there? Very interesting. There's another one here. What's going on there? Okay, so this is, maybe that's not St. Petersburg. Maybe I'm down the coast a bit. But as we see, we just get all these ruins everywhere and no resolution. So there you can see a big tower down here. More ruins of a star city. Over here, we have like a citadel, but it's round, looking very machine-like, this one. Big tower and this sort of big bit coming off it. And was that some kind of machine? Was that some kind of, I don't know, gate when the water was a bit lower? So yeah, there's quite a few around there. And this is what we see as well, is just if were these built in the water or were they built on land and then the water rose up and flooded them all out, and that's why we get these bits everywhere? I think it might be a bit of both, because these these look It doesn't look like there was a lot, you know, heaps of land in there, does it? But yet we get, and again, look at that edge. How machine-like does that look? See that? It looks like, you know, half a cog, like for winding, you know, a gate or something, open and shut. Just very similar to this one out here. So that's what I'm wondering, is this some kind of gate? Because there is a gate up near St. Petersburg, but so is that some kind of connection thing across the front there? Who knows? Okay, I'm pretty sure this one is St. Petersburg. So again, look at this. This is the same kind of, now look at what's going on with the picture we get. I think they're trying to, you know, show us there's lots of ice in the harbour, but why is there no ice here? It's like they just got these random photos and chucked them all together and said, yeah, no, that looks more like land than water, doesn't it? So again, what's been hidden under there? You know, all these strange colours, these strange shapes. And of course, you come to the land, and I mean, look at that. I mean, this clearly looks flooded. You know, that's look at that. You can see the wall underwater there. So that's a bit. You can see this very familiar Star City wall, and it looks like they're using it as a marina. You know, over here, another bit here. Just, you know, just randomly in the middle of the water, as you do. And this whole place, and as you can see, even this bridge, this, you know, causeway thing is built on the remnants of a star fort. And these are the things I was talking about. So see these are gates, and they come across like that, and they close this up. So is that what those last things that we looked at were? These things. See that? See that big cog? Could that have been swinging a gate? Doesn't look like it moves anymore, but just found that very interesting that they're so similar, and very similar, you know, like topography or ocean topography stuff. This is just a random wall, just a random bit of the wall out that's popped out above the water level, and see all these circles all the way along here. These triangles, so yeah, the edge of something. And again, look what they give us as far as the shot. You know, this is just all completely blanked out. You know, what's going on there? Why do they do that? I mean, you can even see their colouring. So they're not showing us everything. So yeah, this whole area basically is just remnants of a star fort. No doubt. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's very, look at that edge there. Even looks like there's, are they canals or walls? Oh no, that's water. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Everyone's built their little holiday house on the edge of the remnants of this star canal. Look at that. So this whole place. Down here, man-made canals. More interesting bits. So, I mean, this whole, I mean, this is, you know, basically Tartaria, right? This is Russia. As you see, this is the classic kind of Star City look, where you have your canal, your man-made canal, comes up. We have this big sort of loop, this winding bit, and then it goes through the Star City, have one bit here and the other bit here. And this has a third canal. And, you know, we don't know how many canals they all had. Are they canals as well? Because, yeah, they are. Yeah, I'd say they were everywhere, and that most have just been filled in and turned into roads. You can see this familiar pattern here. You know, remnants here, what we see everywhere. So, yeah, this is, look at that for a perfect little star citadel. They've even coloured it very nicely for us. Right? You don't get much better than that. And we've even got a crown coming off it. Look at that. See around the outside there? So, you know, pretty cool place, this. Gosh, look at that. It's still in the star shape. And you can see, you know, again, just the angles on these buildings and the roads. All the roads are angled, and the buildings are built on angles too to fit the road. So, you know, it's just geometry again. There's something going on with that. And just, you know, everywhere, these boulevards that we see everywhere. You know, old world buildings, look at those. And places where the buried bits are. All right, it's probably got 15 million bits here. Let's see if there's anything else. And we're going to go to, where are we now? Oh, this. Okay, so this is Fort Jefferson. Now this is the Florida Keys at the bottom of the US. Whoa. So this is Florida here, Cuba. And so, yeah, this is where this is, out in just the middle of the ocean. I believe it's 200 miles offshore, I think. Again, you can see this line. So you can see what was probably above water before the flood and where the actual ocean lines were down here. So we have this. Now, this, of course, they say was built for defense. Okay, now, okay, just think about that. This is a little tiny fort that can shoot cannons and guns probably like this far. You know, it can shoot this far if they're lucky, with no accuracy at all. And it's for defense, because when boats come in, they don't think of sailing around it. They just go, oh, we better sail in and have a fight. Oh, we lost. And so that way it can defend. I mean, it's just a ridiculous story, right? You would just sail around it. You would just go, oh, let's land here. Let's land here. Let's land. I mean, it's just a dumb story. So this obviously is the citadel of a star. It's a six-sided. Got the moat still there, even though it's in the water. It's literally sitting on the top of an atoll. It looks like these might be oyster farms or something someone's put in there. You know, why not? And this is the largest brick structure in North America, or so they say, with over 60 million red bricks. So how did they get all those red bricks out here and everything else they needed to build this, and all the men? And where did they, you know, support all these builders? Was it just on this little bit of land here with absolutely no vegetation or food? You know, no fresh water out here. And yeah, so that's where they decided to build the largest red brick building in North America, if you want to believe it, that one. And so, and again, look, you know, they show us a bit of what the ocean's like here, but come out here, nah, not allowed to look. Not allowed to look. And look at all this. So this is all, yeah, Bermuda Triangle area, Bimini Road, lots and lots of stuff under the water here. And of course, you know, not too far from where all the human traffickers like to hang out as well. And down here, yeah, this is Key West. Check this out. So this is where all the ocean currents are. They've made their little natural canals going through here, so the water can flow. I thought that was pretty cool. And I haven't really seen Key West before, but look at this. Again, looking very much like the remnants of some kind of star city, just with the shapes, the angles, you know, the long straight lines. And then, what's this? Looks like a big channel in the reef, in the coral reef, but it doesn't go anywhere. So what is that? And who made that? And just see the straight angles here. I mean, again, is this real or not? Because that looks like, you know, carved, doesn't it? I mean, see, look at this. Just straight angles everywhere, canals, but this is under the ocean. Okay, look, another canal there, straight angles, don't know what that is. You know, canals here, You know, this sort of lowered a bit. I mean, they may have done that, you know, dug out for their marina. But, you know, I doubt they would have done all these perfectly, you know, straight lines. Like, why would they do this? It's just, you know, this is the thing. What's going on here? I think there's remnants of the older civilization down here. And just look at this 6-pointer. It's such a familiar shape. And look, even on the inside, we get these angles. So there you go. I mean, this is, yeah, Florida Keys down here. Again, just these funny angles everywhere. And this, again, this is all just, you know, what we're told, atolls and reef and stuff. You know, I guess what is reef? What's coral reef? You know, that's another thing. They tell us it takes millions of years to develop, to grow, but is that true, or is you know, the coral just a covering for something else, just a natural facade maybe? Who knows? And so this is just the marina up in Florida, and again, just the same look. You know, you come down here, just, you know, looks with these angles and things. Golf course in the middle here, of course, because that's where you'd put a golf course, on an island. You have to walk across for the final hole. But it just looks a lot more like this has been found and repurposed than they've gone in and, you know, dug all these perfectly straight lines everywhere. Because I know they dig shipping canals, but they just normally dredge them. They don't normally get so accurate on the edges here. They look man-made. So that could just be a big groin, as we call them down here in Australia. But yeah, just, you know, the fact that it's everywhere. Obviously, this is sunken. I don't know if these are man-made islands. Probably are. But again, you know, you get stuff like this under the water. Look at that. What's going on? And so this is the thing. It's not just what's above water, but underwater as well. So this whole area, again, look, it just looks like it's been inundated. And there's a lot more under the water than we're allowed to see. And come up here, you know, these are all, no doubt, we're told most of them are man-made canals, but, you know, of course, golf courses, these shapes we see everywhere. God, I don't know what they are. Big man-made lakes. So the terraforming goes on. And what it seems to be is they just cover up and reuse, you know, the old world structures. Here, now this is called Hughtown. So I don't know what this group of islands is actually called. I've just got these names: Hughtown, Maypole, Old Grimsby. You know, sounding very sort of old English, isn't it? Briar, Lower Town. So it's just this sort of little archipelago out in the middle of the ocean. This is called St. Helens, as you can see. And this I found interesting. Number one, because of all this pitting. See all this pitting. It's all around. Now I do know that coral, you know, I know what coral is. This does not look like coral pitting, really. It looks a bit more like something different. And I mean, that's not coral growing either. I mean, I live in Australia and I've walked over coral my whole life. That doesn't look, it's too smooth to be coral. But all the pitting, and in here as well. And Conspiracies Are Us did a video where he was talking about you know, the effects of arc, and he was looking at arc welding and basically, you know, the electrical arc. And when you don't weld properly, you can do two things. You either make these little balls or you make this pitting effect, and he was showing them on walls. And it just, I don't know, it just looks very similar to me. We've got a wall, looks like a sort of wall here, and this, I'm pretty sure this is water in here. But why is it all red? Now, that's a lot of iron, right? And green on the outside, copper. Is that full of iron and copper? Or red brick, you know, red from the iron in the red brick. and copper from the domes. What do you reckon? I don't know. It looks like something might have gone on there. You can see some funny shapes in here. Not the best contrast, but you know, some interesting bits. So yeah, I found that interesting. Now, obviously, you know, I think at some point this was higher, or the oceans were lower, because there are some interesting bits. But if we come over here, this is the best bit. Garrison holidays, and what do we have out here but a star fort? Here we go. Star fort, star fort, star fort. This bit, as you can see, we've got our Cavalier and our little bit here, but then it sort of seems to disappear. Probably, I'd say that, yeah, this is sort of sunk. Look, this looks very deep, but I don't know what's going on there. Is that supposed to be waves? I don't know, look, there's a nice big line through here. But anyway, it sort of disappears, that wall, and it pops out again here. There. And see, it sort of disappears into the beach there, and it does actually come up around here. So this is the remnants of an old star fort, an old star city, and we can almost see this radiating pattern here with a line here, line here. So there you go, and of course down here we have a citadel. Again, not the best contrast. Google don't want us looking too close. There you go, so the remnants of a star city, and there, again, see that radiating pattern? But like I said, I think some of this may be underwater, because look at this here as well, just that bit there, that may be part of it. The original, and that, is that meltage? Because this, yeah, I don't know, did this get melted or did something, looks like something's happened, looks like definitely the ocean's risen. And now it's basically just farming, yeah, just like a little farming island. Which I've never heard of. Like I said, I don't know what even the group of islands is called. It doesn't really have a name. But as you know, there's probably other little interesting bits around here, no doubt, if you want to have a look. It's just not the best contrast. So yeah, that's just south of Cornwall here. So this is Cornwall in the UK, and just south of Cornwall down here we have this, and this is a place called Mounts Bay and Marazion. That's an interesting name, isn't it? Marazion. And what do we have down here? So again, this is a tip of the UK, and if we do this, look out here, we have this island, and what do we have here? But something that looks a bit like an old world wall. Around here, look at this, walls, and of course on the top we have a castle. So this, I'll see if I can change the view. You can you see that's a hill? That's like, so it's like Saint Michel or Saint Michael. I'm not sure what it's called, the one in France. And the same thing. Look, this is now an island, and you can see it looks like this gets cut off with the tide and turn into an island, and then back again. But yeah, look at this. We've got old world walls and things around here. You can even see things cut in the ground. But look at this. It's just sort of everywhere. So this is definitely an old world castle. Not too much there. You can see bits popping out. So let's go and have a look. Whee! And here we go. This is what's on the top. Yeah, I mean, what do we call this? A cathedral castle? You know, this is old world, what we're told is an old English castle turret. And this is what we're pretty much told is a church. Nice round tower here. And can I move around much? Not really. Another turret here with a window, walls, the whole lot. And if we look down, you can see all these different levels as it sort of cascades down. So, you know, how much, what's under there, what's all, you know, we're asking this question a lot. How does this, you know, is this whole island, was that once one big structure that's now covered up, and this is literally just the top few levels? Of course, they're doing a bit of reno work here, but yeah, there you go, Old World Castle. And of course, are covered, you know, most of the English castles are covered in this sort of stonework. But as we see, you know, when you get this facade taken off, it's normally red brick underneath, even for these kind of structures. So, where does the red brick come from? Okay, let's go down here. They actually have some cannons. Whoops. Alright, and here we are down on, yeah, I don't know, their little defense port with their cannons. Look at these monsters. Aren't they big? I mean, look at these turrets. These look like they've just been stacked up a bit, don't they, really? And there's some more cannons up there. Now, how far do you think these cannons could shoot? Because I've looked into cannons, and cannons do not shoot very far, and they are highly inaccurate. So what do you really think that these cannons could do as a defense? Look how high, I mean, they're high, so maybe they could, you know, plop. But seriously, I mean, look at this. What are they going to do? Just sit there and say, hey guys, please do not, let me go over here actually, whoops. Cannons everywhere. Yeah, please guys, don't land over here. No, don't land here or here, because our cannons won't be able to reach you, and it'll kind of make our castle not really much of a defense. So can you just kind of come closer, land here, and then we can shoot our cannons at you? I mean, it's just a joke. This whole narrative of cannons being some kind of defense is just weird. And you know, what are cannons? You know, there's this whole question, you know, are they're everywhere. They're just everywhere. And they don't seem to be very good as weapons. I mean, literally, they're just a cast tube, a thick tube, and you put gunpowder in them and shoot a ball out. That's the idea. But heaps of them cracked, the big ones, a lot of them are cracked. You know, when people try to use them, they're just cracked in half. I do have a very interesting pic of some cannons, which I will show very soon. But yeah, I mean, just as a defense, but pretty silly story. Pretty silly. And if we look around here, again, you can see all the different levels, all the rocks popping out everywhere. Walls here. Now look at this wall here. And again, you know, was this looks a bit destroyed. So was there destruction? And whatever was here is, you know, destroyed, melted, you know, plasmatized, and this built on top afterwards? Or, because you would think if this is all destroyed, right, then whatever was on the top would have gone as well. So, you know, if that's true, then how old is this structure and how old is this structure? Because these structures, I mean, what are we talking? You know, they're the same all over the world, so it has to be definitely pre, you know, age of rediscovery, doesn't it? So, what's that for? We're talking, I mean, I think we're talking at least 1200s, 1100s, as a kind of early-ish date. So these are, you know, almost 1,000 years old, I would say, at least, around that time. So how old was it, how old was whatever's underneath it, you know, and what was it? Is this remnants of the giants, maybe? It does look fairly big. Big rocks, so who knows? You know, there's all these, you know, and as we know, you know, we live in a realm of many resets. And this is also called St. Michael's. And the one in France is called, let's have a look, right? What is it? I'm pretty sure it's St. Michael's. St. Michael's England. Maybe there's no A. Is that Michael? Mon's saying, or is it Michelle? But there's no double L and E. But anyway, let's go have a quick look at that. And you'll just see that they're pretty much the same structure. See, look at that. Sitting out in the ocean. I just put this in a recent video too, but you can just see that, I mean, come on, that's the same kind of thing. This one's a bit more exposed. We've got a few more levels, but on the top, big cathedral, big spires, angel on top there. Whee! Hello, Mr. Angel. Woohoo! Oh, we're headbutting the angel. Ah. That's naughty. Should not headbutt angels. Look at this. I mean, look at that. What do you reckon? Is that a machine? But yeah, so that's us, Mon saying Michael, I think. And the other one's just Saint Michael. Saint Michael. Come on, let me go back to England. There we go. So, and no doubt, guys, there's more of those around. So if you know of any, let me know, because look at that. So it's the same structure. And again, was this on land? Someone told me that they had a picture of the one in France when it was actually inland. You know, so what's happened here? Was that once inland as well? Because, I mean, look at this Google, look at this Google Ocean. I mean, this is, you know, it's a pretty bad job. They put about as much effort into this as they do into their space photos. Okay, now this is the old town, and again, we do see some features. So down here we've got funny shaped roads. This is just the edge of a small town, but still we get things like this. Okay, when you see a roof like this, that would indicate an old world building. That looks, let's say that's old world too. This might be private property though. Yeah, it's not going to let us look. I did find a cathedral in here too. This looks old world, but the way to look for them, and we have bits like this jutting out into the water, rounded off, but again, and this looking like, you know, part of the old world. That definitely looks like an old world building. Will it let us have a look? No, it's probably government or something. What have I done? Oh, here we go. So, look at this. Castle, anyone? Look at that. Look at this. Just wow. So this is complete old world. These are like mud flooded. Look how low these are. Whoops. So you can see the angle there. Look at this. There's old world buildings everywhere. This is just some little English country town. Look at this. We got another church. Wow, that's cool. Completely flooded. That door's only just high enough, isn't it? Right, seriously, look at that. So yeah, this is just like a complete old world town. Here we go, got walls. Alright, this place is actually quite cool. And that was just this little street. Wow. So no doubt, you know, look at this greenery. I mean, that's probably farming, I would think. But we see, you know, they always use, you know, greenery and parks and things to cover up the old world. Here's a nice, you know, just these funny angles you see. And you can almost see the shape here of what would have been a star city, I reckon. And if we come up here to Cornwall, where's Cornwall? We've got a Launceston in Tasmania. And did that say, wow, Tavistock? Wow, is that where the Tavistock Institute got its name? Look at this. Man-made canal. The Tavistock Canal. I did not know there was a town called Tavistock. And that's an old world city as. Okay, this looks to be the canal running through. I'd say that's been changed a bit. But still got the same shape that we see everywhere. Got geometry in the ground. Here, more geometry. Nice old world building there. Is that a cemetery? Okay, maybe this is a cemetery. Okay. I'm not going to let us in, because everyone's dying to get in there. Tavistock Hospital. That's just bizarre. I wonder if there's a Tavistock Theatre. What do you reckon? Out here. Weird shapes everywhere. What is that? Don't know. Yes, well, there you go. Tavistock. Old world. Here we go. Just stuff built into the ground everywhere. Okay, I'm going to have to go and have a look. We're going in. Going into Tavistock. Where shall we go? Shall we go here? Let's see what the architecture looks like. And here we go. Just this person stole the old street light. Look at that. They liked it so much they took it home. Just there, pretty much just looking like an English country town. Old worldish buildings. And one thing, you know, I mean, we see these houses everywhere, and we know that, you know, never really looked into the houses. Because in Australia, in Perth, where I am, there are red brick houses everywhere. You know, just single story ones, but they are everywhere. Pretty much everything up until, you know, the 70s was built from old world red brick, pretty much. What am I looking for? I am looking, I don't even know where I am anymore. Cornwall. Oh, there you go. I was kind of close. Tavistock led me off my course. Led me astray. And, I mean, again, look at this place. Big canal. Through here. And again, you can see this shape. And they'd love to fill in canals. I would say we had one going through the middle here somewhere. Because look at this canal here. See how it's all looks like it's full of mud? And we've just got this little bit of water. Comes up here. And see how in here it just kind of runs in. I've got a boat here just sitting on the mud. No doubt they, you know, that's where they build them or something. But that looks like that's probably, might have been filled in. I don't know. But Cornwall now, I mean, that gave it away because it's got a mark on it, but that's what all the cathedrals look like. Long shape, and most of them have at least one cross on them. This has got two, and many of them are rounded at the end. And look at the pillars on this, big towers. So this is Cornwall, old world city, of course. Ooh, look at that. Look at this person doesn't realise they're walking next to a 1,000-year-old machine. Look at that. And aren't they just all so the same? These, you know, cathodes, cathedrals. I still need to do research. UAP was saying the balls are capacitors, where I was thinking that they were full of mercury and were acting as magnets to the copper. as you do in like coils and things. So I need someone smarter than me to help with that. UAP is obviously very, you know, good with that, and engineering-minded kind of guy. So yeah, anyone who's out there who's an electrical magnetic genius type, let me know how this all works. Because someone put a lot of effort into building these things everywhere, and of course we know every Star City has, I think, at least 4. I don't think I've ever seen less than 4 or 5, which means there should be another one around here somewhere, right? Like that. That's that rounded bit I was talking about. So that's definitely old world, 100%. Oh, and it's even going to let us have a look. Ah, there we go. Yep, there's another one. Another old machine, and of course mud flooded. Whoops, and as you can see, doors down here. That's beer. Are they beer kegs? Hey, is that... What are you doing, Mr. Priest, with the beer down here? Hey, I'm not sure that you're supposed to be serving beer. I thought it was wine. But look at that. Castle turret on top. Is that sitting on top of that roof? It's like it's been cut off and someone's just plonked it on top. That's bizarre. So yeah, if you're looking through these cities, yeah, that's the roofs. That's the round bit. That one doesn't. Oh, it's got a little kind of cross on it. But the big ones have a big cross on them. And of course, you know, just all this kind of stuff that we see. Funny angled buildings, you know, funny angled streets, big roundabouts, you know, that used to be no doubt fountains, parklands, you know, strange shapes in them. They're all signs of star cities. So there you go, guys. A bit of a look at some star cities in the ocean and some star city features. So thanks for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed that one. Please leave me a comment, give me a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and share this content, and also hit the bell and you'll be notified of all upcoming uploads. And again, a big thank you to everyone who supports this channel in any way they can. And of course, thank you to all my supporters on Patreon, PayPal, and through my merch store. You guys are pretty much supporting me so I can continue doing this work. And if you would like to support this channel, there are links below in the description. Alright, have an awesome day. And remember, his story is not our story. I'll catch you all on the next upload. Bye for now.